Hey, welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero. You can see I just played a few minutes ago. So let's continue this. It looks like we may have gone out of order. So I thought Act 1 was called Limits and Demonstrations, but it's not. There's Act 1, then there's like a intermission type thing, Limits and Demonstrations, and then there's Act 2, then there's the entertainment, and apparently we played the entertainment last time. So now we're gonna do this other intermission. So we got 2 intermissions in a row, then we'll do Act 2, Act 3, and then we'll do, the proper order here. It looks like there's none after Act 5. So, limits and demonstrations today. Let's play. These are like optional little things, it looks like. But yeah, that was confusing. Because I'm like, do we just do something that's not part of the story at all? Let's see what this is about now. Another little abstract thing going on. Okay. Limits and demonstrations. Wall text. Limits and demonstrations, yes. Lula Chamberlain retrospective. Who's this Lula Chamberlain? Marking the first major public showcase of her work in over 20 years, this retrospective exhibition of work by pioneering installation artist Lula Chamberlain comprises a diagonal slice through time, place, and form. The pieces on display here were individually debuted over a period of 35 years, designed in Chamberlain's various homes and studios between her beloved Mexico City and her native Elizabethtown. They represent a range of scale and impact from the intimate warmth of vertex texture fetch to the infamous visage, the latter of which requires a vertical clearance of over 30 feet. Yet these works share a confounding legacy. In each of their debut exhibitions, they were nearly impossible to install. Galleries and museums balked at the scale, power requirements, and highly skilled labor involved in maintaining these works for display. Some of their debuts collapsed under the weight of logistics, only to be successfully executed much later. And so, just as they describe the outer limits of Chamberlain's range as an installation artist, the geographical edges and vertices of her itinerant home life, and the beginning and end of her distinguished career, the works on display here also trace the extremes of our capabilities and the frontiers of our patience as both viewers and exhibitors. Emphasis on patience, holy shit with that last one. Are we capable of viewing these works as they were meant to be viewed? Do we even want to be? Okay. That's what all that says. So there's 3 of us here, and we're just gonna, I guess, apparently walk around this art exhibit. Title card, Basement Puzzle Number 2, Artist, Sunset and Horse, 1976, Plaster and Wire. Basement Puzzle. What do you think she means by puzzle, says Emily. Bob. Yeah, weird. I guess it's something you can solve. Wait, are these the folks that were playing cards? I think so. Ben, I think so, yeah. It must be symbols, artist, sunset, horse, or it's an anagram, or like a code. Maybe it's just a misdirection. Maybe it's a puzzle, but there's no right answer. That is kind of sad. Okay. I mean, I'm not a big art interpreter, so I'm not gonna try that, but that's cool looking, that wireframe thing there. Title card, overdubbed Nam June Paik installation in the style of Edward Packer, 1965, 1973, 1980. Magnetic tape, handheld tape, playback head, speaker system, voice of the artist, computer synthesized speech. Oh, I read about this one. It's interactive. How does it work? It's a bunch of old tape, and you run this tape playback head along it and just listen to the recordings, I guess? Let's try it out. I think you start in the middle. As Bob drags the playback head along the tape, a woman's voice issues unsteadily from the speakers. We start in the middle. Donald and Joseph are in the hallway. I'm in an office. The walls are lined with filing cabinets. A few drawers hang open. Door is ajar. A massive computer looms in the corner. There are some punched cards on the floor. Synthetic voice recording, spliced awkwardly into the tape, lists out options in monotone. To examine cards, rotate 30 degrees and advance 7 inches. To leave room, rotate 17 degrees and advance 4 inches. To activate computer, rotate 200 degrees and advance 15 inches. Activate computer. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. So loud, I love it. I am now holding 2 punched cards. On one of them, Joseph has scribbled a note, caves. The other is blank. To insert caves card, rotate 11 degrees and advance 2 inches. To insert blank card, rotate 95 degrees and advance 14 inches. Caves. Caves card. We're on a dirt trail in the park, or, well, it's not really a trail. It's a trail! It's more like a tendency. There tend to be fewer plants here on the path we've been walking. Scromp, scromp, scromp. Now, we're walking at the edge of a massive hole. The dirt gives way to mossy rock on the ground as the ground sinks into darkness. Joseph and Donald are following a rope down into the cave. They have computer equipment tied to their backs. So do I. To enter the cave, rotate 65 degrees left and advance 4 inches. That's the only choice? Yeah, that's the end of that one. So 65 degrees, 4 inches. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. Final resting place! Don't be so morbid. To remember a fond gesture, rotate 180 degrees and advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches. Let's remember. It's morning now, I'm in the car, I'm driving to work. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow. And then who knows? I've been recording onto this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened. So here's a story. When I met Donald and Joseph, they were both students and I was in a band performing on campus. They came to my show, and then we met at the same bar, or at some bar, and had a few drinks together. Joseph wanted to impress me, so he stole a metal cocktail tumbler and gave it to me. We got kicked out, wandered drunkenly until morning, and finally ended up at a diner. Now I use the tumbler to store extra pens on my desk. So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I drive. Hey, go back a bit. Maybe we missed something. Really? We've gone so far. Yeah, let's go back. Okay, sure. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. That's the last trip, so everything's down here now. The final resting place! Don't be so morbid. Remember fond gesture, rotate 180 degrees and advance 23 inches. To regret a harsh word, rotate 12 degrees and advance 6 inches. Let's regret. It's late morning now, I'm sitting at my desk on my lunch break. This is the last recording I'll make on this tape, and then I'll drop it in the mail tomorrow, and then who knows? I've been recording on this tape for 15 years, I think. A lot of other things happened, so here's a story. The first time I moved to Mexico, I stayed there for 3 years, and I had no contact with either Joseph or Donald in that whole time. They each thought I'd done it to spite them. Maybe I had, in part. I don't think they ever appreciated the community they had in Mexico, or... Anyway, when I came back, I didn't call them or visit the university. I ran into Donald completely by chance at a hardware store. He asked me why I hadn't called, and I told him it hadn't occurred to me. So, I'm almost out of tape. I guess I'll just let it run out while I eat. No instructions? No, that's the end of this tape strip. I don't think we ever reached this long one at the top here. Is it cheating to skip over there? I won't tell a soul. Bob moves the playback head to another strip of tape. Think of our work, our research! You'll die in these damn cold caves, and what about those men? You know they'll come back. We'll go deeper, that's all. They'll never find us. Did you hear their voices? They're not... They'll find you, but not me. I'm going back to the surface. Stop! Your stupid fight is ringing through the whole damn cave. Joseph is right, we can't stay here. I'm leaving too, but I'm not going back to the surface. I'm taking the station wagon and I'm heading down to zero. You'll be lost forever! We need your voice for the machine, Lula. It only recognizes your voice. I'll send you this tape when I'm done recording. I'll put it in the mail, and then you can see what your damned machine does with it. Oh. Alright. Holy S. Title card, Visage, 1984, unknown media. What is that made of? It's a mystery. It looks like ribbon? Bandages? Oh, have you seen The Invisible Man? It's like... It's... Slice of visage to build a visage. A puzzle to its owner. What? It's a poem I read. I think it was written by a computer. I think it's lovely. Oh, I thought it was gonna stop. Is that all with that? Okay, this way. Title card, Vertex Texture Fetch. Tree, television, and suspended cathode ray tube, 1968, found materials. The picture on the TV. What is that? It's a lighthouse? No, it's a weather vane or a windmill or something. Is it a lighthouse? Is that all we're doing with that? Title card, spinning coin, suspended, correcting for angular motion, 1976, found materials. Didn't you have one of these? Oh yeah, I did have an old microfilm reader like this. I got it at a garage sale, couldn't figure out what to do with it. That's my whole shed, just a bunch of weird, obsolete electronics I thought I might use. At least it's not in a landfill. Yeah, who knows what kind of chemicals they put in those things. What's the half-life on microfilm and weird old electronics? I guess everything gets broken down eventually. Is that it? Yeah, I guess I'm ready to go. Yeah, this show's exhausting. Okay, there you have it. Limits and demonstrations. Okay, so next time, that's it for today, guys. Next time, we're gonna do Act 2. Thanks for watching. I'll see you then. Take care. Goodbye.